Okay, here's the second part of algebraic fractions. Now, when we're adding and subtracting fractions just in general, we're always trying to find the lowest common multiple of our denominators. So let's say we had, I don't know, a half plus a third. We would try to find the LCM of 2 and 3, which is 6. And then we're going to multiply each fraction accordingly so that our denominator becomes that lowest common multiple. So we would times this whole thing by 3, and we would times this whole thing by 2. And then we would go on to add, right? That's how we do fractions. We're going to apply the same thing, but now using algebra. So in this case, between 3x minus 2 and x plus 1, the lowest common multiple would be just those two multiplied together. So the lowest common multiple would be 3x minus 2 times x plus 1, which I can just write together. I don't have to write that multiply in between. So I can write it as 3x minus 2, x plus 1, and then 3x minus 2, x plus 1. That first fraction, the one involving 8 with the numerator, what do I have to times that by in order for my denominator to be as it is? I'm going to have to multiply that 8 by x plus 1. Because in order to have that denominator, I need to times that whole fraction by x plus 1. Which means that second fraction, what do I need to times that by? 3x minus 2. Like this. And then we're going to add in between. Because now our denominators are the same, I don't need to have two separate fractions. I can write it as one whole fraction, like this. 3x minus 2, x plus 1 equals 2. Okay? Now, we are going to rearrange so that we get x as the subject of our formula. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to expand and simplify every bracket that we have. So 8x plus 8 plus 18x minus 12 over 3x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 2 then equals 2. We can simplify that. 26x minus 4 over, let's do this. You see how I have a equals 2 there? If I want to show how my steps are following along, so one step from another, I can use this notation. So an arrow, essentially. You don't have to do that. But just in case, you don't want to have two sets of equals, if that makes sense. Okay, and the bottom, 3x squared plus x minus 2 equals 2. Okay, I want to eliminate my fraction entirely. So I can take my denominator to the other side like this. So it all becomes multiplied by 2. And now I can expand that fraction out that bracket. And now I want to rearrange to make everything equal to 0. So 6x squared plus 2x minus 26x minus 4 plus 4. I've taken everything on the left, I've moved it to the right, and I've done the inverse sign. So 0 equals 6x squared minus 24x. Now I want to factorize this. When I do that, I can take 6x out, x minus 4, and now I make each bracket using this as almost like a pretend bracket. Make each one equal to 0. So 6x equals 0, x equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0, x equals 4. There we go. Those are my two solutions. X can equal 0 or x can equal 4. That's how it works. Hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, feel free to watch it back as many times as you like. And hopefully it makes sense those times. Okay. Have a look at this question that I've got up. Move it over a little bit. There we go. Can you try that one for me, please? So, when we combine the fractions, our denominator is going to be 5 minus x, x plus 7. I have to multiply that first fraction by x plus 7. So 2 bracket x plus 7. I'm adding the two fractions, and I'm timesing that second fraction by 5 minus x. And that's all equal to 1. Okay. I expand. Like so. And I simplify. So 29 minus x over 12x 35 plus 12x minus x squared. I always like to have it in the standard quadratic form, equals 1. I now move the denominator over to the right hand side by multiplying. So 35 plus 12x minus x squared. And now I want to make everything equal to 0. I have a minus x squared on the right. I don't like having minus x squared because it's more difficult to work with. So I'm going to shift everything on the right to the left. X squared minus 12x minus 35 plus 29 minus x equals 0. Minus 13x. I've done something wrong. Where have I gone wrong? Should be minus 7x. There we go. Alright, so when we combine the two fractions, our denominator, So when we combine the two fractions, our denominator is going to be 5 minus x, x plus 7. And our numerator is going to be 2 and then x plus 7, because I have to multiply that whole left fraction by x plus 7, and I have to multiply that whole right fraction by 5 minus x, and I'm adding the two fractions, so I have a plus in between, equals 1. Okay, I now expand and simplify. So I get 2x plus 7 plus 15 minus 3x over 5x plus 35 minus x squared minus 7x equals 1. I can now simplify to 29, sorry, this should be 14, my bad. 29 minus x over 35 minus 2x minus x squared equals 1. I can move my denominator to the other side by multiplying. So 1 times all of that is just going to be all of that. Now I've got minus x squared. I don't like having minus x squared. Makes life more difficult. So everything on the right, I'm going to move it over to the left. Like this. Sorry. 29 minus x equals 0. There we go. So x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. Factorize this. X plus 3, x minus 2. So that means x equals minus 3 and x equals 2. Done. That's how you do, and that's how you solve algebraic fractions.